Good evening, you're tuning in to AWANI Tonight with me, Hafiz Marzukhi. The management and control of the nation's borders are now under the purview of the Malaysian Checkpoints and Borders Agency, or MCPB. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim says the agency commenced operations on May 1st in order to ease the entry of tourists into the country while also plugging leakages due to smuggling.
Tourist arrivals into the country have increased drastically with a recent increase of over 80%. Anwar said the influx of tourists has caused pressure on related border authorities. He added that the relevant agencies under the Home Ministry, such as the Customs Department and Immigration Department, would be coordinating with the MCPB. Meanwhile, Anwar said a law on the operation of MCPB would be tabled in the Dewan Rakyat meeting in July. The agency would commence operations based on existing laws governing the relevant border authorities as of now. On Thursday, Anwar, accompanied by Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, witnessed the handing over of documents of reference to 9 government entities that would manage the nation's borders under the MCPB. Among them are the Defence Ministry, Transport Ministry, Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission and the Treasury Department.
Microsoft has pledged 10.5 billion ringgit investment in artificial intelligence and cloud computing to help develop Malaysia's AI infrastructure. This would be the single largest investment by the company in its 32 years in Malaysia. Microsoft Chairman and CEO Satya Nadella announced this on his 3-nation tour of Southeast Asia, including Indonesia, Thailand and Malaysia.
On top of that, we are expanding. I'm really pleased to announce today that we are expanding our investment in Malaysia with $2.2 billion. So we really want to make sure that we have world-class infrastructure right here in the country.
Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the investment will greatly support the government's focus on developing AI capacity in the country. The new investment, he said, will include AI training for another 300,000 people, the establishment of a national AI Centre of Excellence, enhancing the nation's cybersecurity capabilities and supporting the growth of Malaysia's developer community.
Tune in to the full interview between Satya Nadella and Astro AWANI's Editor-in-Chief Ashwat Ismail tomorrow night on Agenda AWANI at 9 p.m. It is also available on Channel 501 as well as all Astro AWANI's online platforms. The government plans to restart the Skypark Link, a train service that connects KL Central Station to Skypark Terminal at the Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah Airport. Transport Minister Anthony Loke says the service was never completely abandoned and was only temporarily halted.
As far as Skypark Link is concerned, the Skypark Link has never been abandoned. We just terminated the service. The track is still around and we continue to maintain the track. So the service was terminated because of road ridership. As mentioned before, we have a rail service between Subang Airport up to KL Central. To connect between the KL transport terminal to this particular airport. So it was terminated last year because of road ridership, because not many people take the train. It's just less than 100 a day. But the track is still there. And we have mentioned that once the terminal is up and running, then the train will be resumed. And we are working towards that, but on a new model. So we are looking of how to revive that particular service based on a new model, probably a joint venture or collaboration with other parties.
Loke explained that the Subang Airport is not solely focused on airlines, but also to help position Malaysia as a hub for maintenance, repair and overhaul, and for aerospace activities across all sectors within the region. He said with the Subang Airport regeneration plan, Subang Airport will be positioned as a city and regional airport for Greater Kuala Lumpur.
The El Niño phenomenon and its accompanying heatwave is expected to continue for the next 2 months. Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability Minister Ning Nazmi Ning Ahmad says forecasts indicate that this year could be the hottest year for Malaysia.
According to Nick Nazmi, the last time the country experienced such hot weather was in 1998 in Perlis. He said Kelantan, Perlis and Kedah were currently experiencing higher temperatures than Selangor and Kuala Lumpur. Nick Nazmi said his ministry and the National Disaster Management Agency were monitoring the weather change. They were also working with the Energy and Water Transformation Ministry to monitor water levels and may consider conducting cloud seeding exercises. He added that they were also watching for transboundary haze as they had observed signs of peat fires.
Education Minister Fadilina Siddiq says the ministry has implemented several measures to address the issues highlighted in a recent World Bank report. She adds that ministry has established committees to oversee the issues as well, implement educational reforms.
Isu-isu yang dibangkitkan dalam laporan World Bank itu sebenarnya telah pun kita tangani di peringkat Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia dengan secara proaktif dan cukup progresif. Jadi insya-Allah mudah-mudahan saya ingat kita akan terus bekerja keras untuk memastikan semua jawatankuasa ini bergerak dan mencapai mutu dan kualiti pendidikan yang kita mahukan.
The World Bank report highlighted the low learning outcomes of primary school students despite more time spent in school and a significant education budget. Fadina said reforms already underway include restructuring the preschool system, including the establishment of the Preschool Expansion Committee and curriculum interventions to address learning loss.
We'll go for a short break. Stay with us.
Tak cukup, dia kena bagi lagi.
Pada 5 bintang aku up, jadikan dia 10 bintang. Korang jangan lupa saksikan filem ni
Di Pawagam 18 April. Korang kena nak tengok. Alright.
Sheriff, kini di Pawagam.
In the United States, hundreds of police officers are at the University of California in Los Angeles or UCLA, warning protesters that they would be arrested if they did not leave. The crackdown at UCLA marks latest flashpoint for rising tensions on college campuses in the US, where protests against Israel's war in Gaza have led to clashes between students and law enforcement. Hours earlier, police had declared the pro-Palestinian encampment at UCLA as an unlawful assembly. Violent clashes had broken out between rival groups just a day earlier. Demonstrations are continuing at dozens of universities across the US, with more than 1,000 people arrested. The majority of demonstrations have called for universities to divest from companies that support Israel and the war in Gaza. Meanwhile, Colombia announces it will break diplomatic relations with Israel over its actions in Gaza. President Gustavo Petro says the country will not support ties with a government and president that are complicit in genocide.
Petro said countries could not remain passive in the face of events in Gaza. Israel responded by calling him anti-Semitic and hateful, saying his stance amounted to giving a reward to the Palestinian group Hamas. Petro has previously been highly critical of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He also requested to join South Africa's case accusing Israel of genocide at the International Court of Justice. Bolivia broke off relations with Israel at the end of October last year, while several other countries, including Colombia, Chile and Honduras, have recalled their diplomats.
South Korea's National Assembly has passed a bill to launch a new investigation into the deadly Halloween stampede in 2022. Under the bill, a committee of members nominated by the two major parties will investigate the tragedy.
An earlier bill, which was backed by the opposition-led parliament without the support of the ruling People Power Party, was vetoed by President Yoon Suk-yeol in January. The latest bill is a compromise that removes the granting of full investigative powers to the panel, which Yoon had objected to. The Halloween crowd crush in the Itaewon district killed 159 people. There is growing pressure on authorities, including from victims' families and the United Nations Human Rights Committee, to hold those responsible to account. A police inquiry published early last year concluded that a lack of preparation and an inadequate response were the main factors behind the deadly crash. No senior government figures have resigned or been sacked so far over the incident.
At least 48 people have been killed after a section of an expressway in China's Guangdong province collapsed yesterday. Authorities said around 30 people were also injured as millions in the country travel for the May Day holiday break.
Videos from state media showed that a task force was deployed to retrieve vehicles and help with rescue efforts. The collapse, triggered by heavy rain, occurred at around 2:10 a.m. on Wednesday on the Meizhou-Dabu Expressway. The collapsed section was 17.9 meters in length and caused 23 vehicles to plunge, involving 54 people. Meizhou is one of the areas in Guangdong that has been badly hit by heavy rain and hail since late April, which set off dangerous mudslides, inundated homes, and destroyed bridges.
Around 500 to 700 million LG products are currently in use around the world. Many of these include sensors spotted by artificial intelligence that are optimized to learn and analyze users' lifestyles, behaviors, and preferences. Fake One reports on how LG utilizes its access to this wealth of data.
The inside of this fridge can be seen with just 2 knocks, and its colors can be customized based on preferences. It's one of LG's innovations aimed at bringing personalized customer experiences. Justin Choi, Managing Director of LG Malaysia, tells us more about the firm's approach towards smart devices.
LG Electronics collects real-time live data generated according to actual customer usage patterns in all of the customers' living spaces, including home, mobility, commercial, and virtual spaces. This allows us to tailor our product and services to better meet the evolving needs of our customers. When we analyze data collected from smart devices, we can anticipate user needs, optimize product performance, and deliver personalized experiences. Whether it's predictive maintenance to ensure uninterrupted functionality or intelligent features that adapt to individual preference, LG continues to enhance customer experience through innovative use of data from our smart devices.
Justin also shares how LG envisions the future of home appliances.
We see a future where appliances are not only efficient, but also seamlessly integrated into a smart home ecosystem. Our commitment to connectivity, smart technology, and sustainability aligns perfectly with the evolving needs of consumers. We plan to continue this pace as we are dedicated to bring in not only the best products, but also being the best brand for our consumers. We also hope to create accessibility for Malaysians to have life's good experience with LG.
That wraps up AWANI Tonight. I'm Hafiz Marzukhi. Thanks for watching and good night.